Welcome back. And parents, just a heads up, teenagers, you've got to keep an eye on your teen these days, especially when it comes to the use of e-cigarettes, also known as vapes.
Joining us to talk more about it is Thomas Larson from the Oklahoma Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust, TSET also. Thomas, thanks for talking to us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. How common is vape use among teenagers?
You know, it's way too common. The latest data we have shows about 21% of Oklahoma high school students are using vapes on a regular basis. So a little bit more than 1 in 5, which is really disturbing.
Yeah, and it seems like, you know, parents, if you think your child's not vaping, you might be naive about it, because just even the forms that the vapes come in can be very deceiving, can't they?
Sure. You know, it's not as obvious as finding a pack of cigarettes. You know, today's vaping products, they might look like a highlighter or a flash drive or things like that. So it's not as easy for parents to spot anymore, which is why it's really so important for parents to have conversations with their kids.
Is there something that parents should look out for if they're wondering, gosh, does my teen vape?
You know, that's really hard to say, because you might say, you know, look for you know, mood swings or changes in behaviors, but that's also just being a teenager.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, conversation is so important. You know, have a two-way conversation with your kids. Ask them, what do they know about vaping, or any of their kids vaping. You know, Tobacco Stops With Me, which is a program of TSET, they have conversation guides for parents on our website, stopswithme.com. So parents who are concerned or interested, they can go there and they can get you know, solid factual information about the dangers of vaping, as well as conversation guides to help them talk to their kids.
Yeah, how to get into that conversation.
Yeah, and it seems like they're so targeting our young people, just with, you know, cool brands, cool flavors. And, you know, what are the problems with minors vaping, or, you know, having nicotine this early? You
know, I mean, nicotine alters the brain. It permanently alters the brain. So if someone starts vaping at a young age, they're really setting themselves up for a lifetime of addiction to nicotine, and they may move on to more conventional tobacco products.
It's a mean drug,
cigarettes.
isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's not just nicotine that's in the vape.
Oh, no. I mean, you can have marijuana.
Marijuana?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to know that that is not the vaping aerosol. It's not water vapor. You know, with the flavors, with the additives, they have found things like heavy metals like nickel and lead in that vaping aerosol, as well as other chemicals. So the truth is, we don't know everything that is in those vaping aerosols because it's so unregulated. So it's kind of an experiment, and you just don't want the experiment on you or your kids.
Right.
There's some free resources available that TSET does to help people get off nicotine. What are those resources?
Absolutely. So I mentioned Tobacco Stops With Me, our website about the tobacco industry and the dangers of tobacco and vape use. If you have a kid who is already addicted to nicotine, we have a program called My Life, My Quit, and you can find information there at mylifemyquit.com.
Great. Thomas, thank you for talking to us about this. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
All right, we appreciate it.